Hello everybody, day 76. Welcome. Today's meditation, huge breakthrough, finally, thank God. I've been dealing with some really hard and challenging days recently, as you guys probably know, integrating so much energy. And last night my vibration was literally so low, and I was like near this hellish place. And I'm like, why? What is going on? So I wrote down what lowers my vibration. I was like, let's do some self-inquiry. And you might be able to relate to these. I'm sure you will. I wrote not being present, which just means, being in the past or the future, being in the mind. Being in my mind too much, overthinking. My phone. I literally feel like if I'm on my phone too much, I just feel it like draining my consciousness and lowering my vibration. Worrying essentially means like not surrendering to God, not trusting life, right? Just worrying, trying to do it all yourself or something. Leaving my heart space, that's pretty self-explanatory. Self-judgment and inner conflict, just being in separation with myself, pushing aspects of myself away, non-acceptance, these kind of things. And what I realized is every single one of these, all pertains to thinking yourself as a psychological construct, or identifying with yourself as a psychological construct, or in other words, believing yourself to be your thoughts, right? And I just realized this energy that came into my crown chakra a few nights ago. I realized it's just trying to liberate me from thinking of myself as a thought. It's trying to liberate me from my psychological construct. So last night my vibration was like rock bottom, and I woke up this morning like it felt like there was this dense brick of energy in my head, in my skull, and it was just weighing me down. And I was even like, fuck, is this like, I even had this thought. I was like, am I doing something wrong here? Like, why won't this integrate? What is this? This doesn't feel good. And I was like, God, show me what this is. Show me what I need to see. And so in my meditation this morning, I just felt my awareness finally start relaxing. And I just like truly felt myself finally start like surrendering to this energy. And and this is something I was thinking, like, in meditation, when sometimes we reach this place where we don't exist within the psychological construct of time and space. So we're not existing as our psychological construct. We're existing as the universe. You can feel yourself sometimes in meditation when you're really going deep and letting go. You can feel yourself not as an object of perception anymore. You can just feel yourself as the universe. And so the longer we spend in meditation as the universe and not as our psychological construct, not in time and space, then the more we come back out of the meditation as the universe and less our psychological construct. And that's what meditation really essentially does for you. It frees you from from the identification of yourself as something that exists in time and space, because that's where all suffering happens, right? In time and space, and thinking that you're the construct that your mind has created. And so in this morning's meditation, I just felt that happening. I felt as I was no longer my psychological construct, I felt this energy just dispersing and releasing, and I felt this deep unconscious surrender. And I felt this knowing come through that I have been so attached to myself as an idea, as a story, as the person in the movie, as the character in the movie. And that had been causing so much suffering for me, and that this energy was actually coming into me to free me from that identity, from that psychological construct. And this energy was doing this so that I could be more of an open channel for source. And that's funny because the radio show that me and Wendy are doing is called Open Channels. And once all of these realizations came in, just kind of like flooding into me, that, oh my gosh, I've been just believing all of these thoughts. and I have like got lost to Maya in a sense. I felt myself taking these huge, deep breaths, and that this energy just starting to integrate fully, and just so much delicious prana coming back, some prana that I haven't felt in days, and just this peace being restored to my being. And I realized how much I've been choosing to believe my thoughts due to the fear of letting go of my identity of myself as a psychological construct. Because there is that fear there. We're all somewhere, we fear freedom. And this energy was trying to liberate me and free me. And that's why the mind was in conflict with it. And the mind was trying to tell me this energy is not good, this is too much, or that you've done something wrong. The mind was trying as hard as it could to cling to the control it still had. And if we believe ourselves to be the mind when this is happening, it's going to be hard to surrender to this energy. But know that you are going to surrender, because it's the mind trying to fight the cosmos. And at one point today I realized that, and I was like, oh my God, this energy is just trying to liberate me. And then once I faced my own emptiness, once I just let go into no longer being an object of perception, that is when I saw so clearly the dynamics of what was going on. And then I just saw the thoughts as so meaningless and powerless, and it's just futile, and like, oh my God, none of this is me. None of this is me. This is me, the heart is me. This pure awareness, this is me, the eternal self. This is the universe, an extension of source. And I just realized the universe is so yielding if you will just face your own emptiness. And I was fighting my own emptiness for a few days there. And so I wasn't getting the answers, right? Because I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to logically deduce what's going on. But it wasn't until I just let go and faced my own emptiness that all of the realizations came flooding in. And that the peace was restored to my being, the prana. I just feel so much more connected to like this state of liberation, this state of freedom. And it's like, fuck, thank God I feel like I'm like back home, back home in the true self. And this is something that happens in layers, right? Meditation, if it's teaching me anything, is that when we go a layer deeper, we look back and we realize, and we feel like, oh my gosh, I was living from such a shallow place before. Such a shallow perception. And then we go another layer deeper, and then we look back at that last place and like, dang, no, that was a really shallow. And I'm sure, 2 weeks, a month from now, I'll look back at the realization I'm having right now, and I'll be saying, wow, that was a shallow place to perceive reality from. And that's the thing with meditation, I'm realizing. There's like this infinite depth to the self. And the deeper we go, the more the psychological construct dissolves. The more that identity created from thoughts falls away.